All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Sunday Stretch. As my dad says, good to be seen and be here with you, and it's much better than any alternative. Let's just take a moment and be grateful for being here today. Just sit in a comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you. Take a couple of deep breaths. Ideally in through your nose, out through your mouth. Or if you're comfortable, you can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose as well. Your nose is intended to be a filtration system, a buffer, and really an enabler for you to really oxygenate your body. So take some deep breaths. Just let the body do the work that it was designed to do. Because it can help you recover too. Go ahead and let your head drift off to the side, reaching one ear towards the shoulder. Pick any side. We will do the other one. And then just look down towards that breastbone on that side. So you can let your gaze fall down, or you can keep your eyes closed and just listen to the sound of my voice. And then come back up, facing forward with the ear again towards the shoulder, seeing if you can reach a little further. And then look down on that same side. Lift the head up on that side and just look towards the sky. So again, your head is kind of on a diagonal and you're looking off. And then turn your head and like you're looking at a bird that's moving towards the other side and turn. So again, you're still looking, that bird just stopped. Breathe there, keep the spine long. And then go ahead and look down, that same side. So the opposite side this time. Just feeling the stretch in the back and the side of the neck. And then try to reach the ear for the shoulder. So your gaze comes towards the front. Again, keep looking for more length in the neck. More space on the opposite side between the ear and the shoulder, and less space on the side you're leaning towards. Look down one more time. And then reach that ear for the shoulder. So your head, neck, and shoulder can retain a lot of tension, a lot of your stress. I'm sure for those of you who get massages, that's one of the places where the masseuse or masseur will know you've got a lot of stress in your life. All right, so bring the head to center, neutral. Drop those shoulders, feel the difference. Feel how much longer, how much taller you feel from the neck up. And go ahead and give me a nice roll with the shoulders. Roll them up and back, down and forward. So give me a couple of nice rolls. And then go ahead and, whenever you're ready, switch opposite direction. right. Again, sit tall, sit on those sit bones, whatever position you're in, seated. Let's go ahead and straddle the legs. So really opening them out. You can kind of lift up your hips and just kind of, you may want to just kind of adjust yourself so that you're in a nice lifted position. You still want to sit up on top of your sit bones. Find that you're open too far or you're falling back. Go ahead and find whatever straddle angle works for you. And again, feel free to kind of just push yourself into it. All right, let's go ahead and lift the arms on inhale. So think long out of the hip joint, the sides of the body. Stretch up, nice and tall. Reach, I'm interlacing the fingers. You can reach straight up with the fingers, or you can interlace the fingers, press those palms up. Don't ever stop breathing intentionally. And whenever you get to an exhale, go ahead and let the arms come down. Let the hands relax, shoulders relax, sit up tall. One more time. Hands go up on an inhale. Interlace at the top or just reach and feel that length in the spine. Really think about decompressing between your vertebrae. So really kind of opening up those spaces. And arms come down. And let's go ahead and turn to the side. So first turn with your head and shoulders, and then place the arms, one in the center, one behind. Lift up nice and long. Try to really twist as much as possible, keeping that other hip anchored into the ground. And let's go ahead and come back to center. Take a nice breath. Turn to the other side, head, shoulders, and then place the arms so that you can really intensify that. And you should feel the stretch not only in the spine, but as you move away, that leg opposite of the direction that you're facing kind of opens up. Keep the shoulders down. Let's come back to center. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to start with the reaching up. So inhale. Arms down. Turn with the head, shoulders, and then the arms follow. So it's kind of like a little ripple down the spine. Keep those knees facing the ceiling. You may go a little further the second time. Come to the center. Reset. Start that ripple, head, shoulders, arms. Continue to breathe. Return to center. Go ahead and bring the feet in. Soles of the feet together. Again, you can either sort of rock it out or sort of reset yourself. You can kind of push, maybe lift the hips and push them a little closer to the feet, but make sure it's not too close so that it's pushing you back, that you can't sit up nice and straight on the sit bones. And you can grab onto the feet if you like. Keep that spine nice and long the whole time. Again, sitting right up on top of the sit bones, each of those vertebrae stacked all the way up through the top of the head, creating a nice line. And now we're going to put the arms around one leg, put the other leg back, and just lift in the chest. You're going to be centered over the front leg, the thigh. That thigh comes out, your chest faces in that same direction. I want you to go ahead and lift in the hips. So lift so that the front of that hip flexor stretches out. And then I want you to feel the difference. Let the hips settle back. Try to stay lifted here and just let it settle back, which will bring the chest back to the center. And then we're going to do similar ripple. So look over that leg, turn the chest, and then pull the hip up. One more time, come down, start with the hip down, turn back, and then initiate that ripple. Feel the opening in that hip. Now what I want you to do is to go ahead and bring that leg forward a little bit and come up so that that back leg is reaching way back. And you're in a nice pigeon pose, those of you who are yogis. And otherwise, back leg reaching back, front leg bent, and you're really trying to push those hips evenly down, opening up. And if you're comfortable, you can come on down over that front leg and stretch. Really push the belly down towards that front thigh. Keep those hips as even as possible. The tendency will be to sink into that front leg, that hip. Let's come up and roll back down. We're going to come to the center just for a second and sort of reset. Again, sitting up nice and tall, but go ahead and slap those legs on the floor. Continue to do that. So you can see, just wiggle those knees a little bit. You can even kind of shake out any other part of your body that might need. All right. And then we're going to come from this bound angle, Baddha Konasana pose position, or butterfly, for some of you who just know. Put those soles of the feet together and reach those knees out. So we're going to turn and reach one side back. So we're going to be on the other side. And again, center yourself over that front thigh. Looking forward, straightening up. You should naturally sort of lift that hip to start. But if not, lift it and really open it up and push it forward. This is a great way to gradually get into a pigeon pose. All right, release. Let that hip settle down and let the chest come back to forward. And then we're going to do that ripple, starting here, push the hip, turn the body, and let the hip drop, come back. One more time. Push. Push that hip forward. Turn, and then let the body react to that. Push it open. Feel the chest and neck open. You can tilt the chin up slightly, but you want to keep the neck long, even in the back. Not just let that head drop back. Maintain your posture. And we're going to push even further. And again, each side will be different. So push so that that hip comes up and over. It's going to be angling towards, if you can get your foot out parallel to the front of your body, that's fine. If not, push that hip towards that front heel. And really try to keep those hip bones even. So resist that urge to sit unless the hips are just going that close to the ground and you can sit at one side down. And let's go ahead and come forward. If you're comfortable, if not, just stay lifted. Coming forward will intensify the stretch on the front of the leg. And again, assuming they're even, the front of the other leg, that back leg, that hip opening up. Again, pushing that belly towards that front thigh, that front heel, that front leg. Seeing how far you can relax and sink. All right, come on back up. Let's pull it back in. Feet to the front. Shake them out. Shake anything else out that might need. All right, and let's come on over. Just coming onto the hands and knees. I want you to just go ahead and do a little rock. So you're going to get a little stretch in the wrists, kind of the knees, maybe sinking back a little further each time, going forward a little more each time, being gentle with both. You don't have to do this if you have carpal tunnel or any other wrist injury. Then you may just want to kind of hang out. You can even kind of do a little lift of each hand and just place it back down. Just to kind of warm it up. So we're kind of going from child's pose to a little gentle push forward with the wrist. Not enough to strain it, but just enough to feel a slight stretching sensation. All right, and then this last time we're going to come back, stay back, reach back, and drop the torso, reaching forward. Bring the arms out to the side and put your head to one side. Both arms are out. Gently resting the head. Shouldn't be a lot of pressure. Most of your weight should be in the legs, on the legs. Torso relaxing. Switch the head to the other side. Head, forehead to the ground, and arms beside you, hands, palms up. And if you're comfortable, we're going to do a little stretch where you're going to come onto the crown of your head. So you're going to lift the hips and push the belly in. Now, again, you don't want a lot of weight on the crown of your head. You don't want to crunch that neck, but I want you to stretch that back. So you're really pushing the belly in so that the middle of the back opens up, stretches out. So you are doing a little strength with the belly, pulling that belly button in, letting the arms kind of be, sort of continue to reach for the toes so that the upper and the middle back stretches open. Slight weight on the top of the head, not a whole lot. It's really you pulling up and out of the floor, using that core. And let's come back down and relax on the forehead. Again, most of your weight there on the legs. But let's go ahead and take an inhale. On the exhale, return to that crown of the head position. You can even come to a point where your head is entirely off the ground. That's how it should really be, the core and the back making this work. And if you lift the head off the ground, you can tuck that chin and stretch the back of the neck. Kind of continuing the lengthening all the way through the back of the skull. And go ahead and put your hands down to get into a tabletop position and arch the back. This time you're letting the belly fall through. Make sure those hands, wrists are stacked. So the elbow and the shoulder should be right above the wrist. Open up the front of the body. And we're going to invert into a V, downward dog. For some of you, tuck those toes. Pull the belly to the legs before you straighten fully. Reach those heels for the floor. Reach the tailbone for the ceiling. Push the arms into the ground. Straighten the arms without hyperextending. Drop the head between the arms. And we're going to come down to a plank position. If you need to adjust so that those shoulders stay right above the wrists, go ahead and do so. Pull the pelvis under, strong. We're going to lower down slowly. Keeping those elbows close, splaying the fingers nice and wide, supporting our weight. And down. Relaxing the top of the feet again on the floor. Pushing up and out. So another bend for the back. But anytime we're bending, it's actually as part of a lengthening exercise. So don't think crunching. Think extending it in a curved fashion. And if you're comfortable, tuck the toes under and lift the knees off the floor. Extending the stretch in the abdominals and the lower front of the body. And one more time, bend, come back, invert yourself, reach the heels for the floor, reach the chest through the arms, tailbone for the sky. All right, bring one foot in the center just to give yourself a nice centered position. Lift the other leg. Go ahead and let the heel of that lifted leg drop and push that hip forward. Try to keep the arm straight and just take a little peek under that arm. And then bring the leg down. And what I want you to do is not put it all the way on the ground, put it beside it. Come forward into a side plank position. Let that other leg, that leg that wasn't on the ground, come back. Ball the foot on the ground and stretch up. You can let that arm fall back. Push those hips. Push, push, push. Oh, this is such, I love this open feeling. And come back. Bring the hand down, bring the foot down. Come back to a plank position. Strong. Descend. Toes down. Body up. Oh. Toes under. Up. Stretch a little more. And then go ahead and release it. Bend the knees, belly to the thigh, and push. Heels down. Legs straight. Keep it active. Let's raise the other leg. Up. And go ahead and lower down. Lower the body. Come to one side. Give yourself balance. And then lift up. Push those hips forward. And come back to front. Let's bring the knees down. Let's bring the body back. And relax. Nice work. Pull the hands beside the feet again. Palms up, relaxed. You can do a little rock, just kind of on the legs. Roll up slowly. Just kind of sit with the thighs stretched, butt to the heels. If you're comfortable, if not, you can always place a pillow, a blanket, or other between your thigh and your calf. So kind of elevating yourself. Keep the spine long. We're going to come on down to a nice relaxed position. All the way down. Again, for your yogis, a little shavasana. Find your center. Find your grounding. Find the place where you can let go. Let your body sink. Just allow your weight to pull with gravity into the floor. Not tensing, not contracting, not resisting. Just being. Feel every surface that's in contact with the floor. And just imagine that the floor begins to mold to every contour of that surface. It starts to welcome you in. And you can melt and conform to that. Be grateful for wherever your body is today. The fact that your mind and your body were able to be present here now in whatever form that is. And as you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and come back, if that's what you choose, you can always choose to continue to melt into the floor. Just remember to take this feeling of relaxation with you, this deep breathing. And remember that no one can take that from you. It is something that you can always return to. And draw peace and recovery from. And with that, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day, a great week, and thank you for joining me in EmBODY WELL for Sunday Stretch. See you next week.